Unison MIDI Chord Pack. Unison MIDI Chord Pack? Unison
MIDI Chord Pack.
Unison MIDI Chord Pack? Hey Siri, Unison MIDI Chord Pack? Unison MIDI Chord Pack?
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Unison! What is up, homies? My name is Felix, and I am here back again with another video for you all today. And you guessed it, today's video is sponsored by Unison. Basically, they asked me to make a video on their Unison MIDI Chord Pack. You might have heard of it here or there. Basically, what it is like a huge folder of like a bajillion MIDI files. So you can take these MIDI files and they have individual chords, they have chord progressions, all different types of stuff, and they are labeled into keys. So if you want to make a melody that's in F major, D minor, C major, B major, any key that you may want to write a melody in, they have a ton of different MIDI files that you can literally just drag and drop into your DAW. Whichever one you may be using, it's pretty universal because MIDI files are universal. So yeah, the Chord Pack is actually a really cool and pretty helpful production tool. I was a little skeptical of it in the past, just having seen it around. I kind of thought to myself like, oh, is this really even going to help you like make beats or make better melodies or anything? But after having, looked at it and everything, I can definitely confirm that it will help your melodies a ton and give you a ton of inspiration and be super dope. And if you use my link down in the description, you can get 60% off, which is kind of a crazy discount. So yeah, if you want to go get the Unison MIDI Chord Pack for yourself, you can go down into the description and check that out. And today, the essence of this video, which I haven't mentioned yet, is I'm going to be making 2 beats, one in LMMS and one in FL Studio, and I'm going to be using the Unison MIDI Chord Pack in order to make these beats, and we're going to see how much faster I can make melodies, how much faster I can get the beats done and everything like that. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with my playlist of songs I produced, my beat store, my Discord, all that will be down there, along with the link to the Chord Pack. Big shout out to Unison for sponsoring this video, and now we can get into making these beats. Alright, so the first beat that we're going to be making here today is inside of LMMS. So essentially the way that the Chord Pack is going to work for LMMS, or pretty much probably any other DAW that you're using, is you're going to go to your sidebar thing, or wherever all your files are at, and then you're going to go to the location of the MIDI Chord Pack, which for me is inside MIDI, and then the Unison MIDI Chord Pack is right here. Alright, so open this up in the file browser thing so that you guys can get a better view. Essentially the way that the Chord Pack works is that they have all of the different scales labeled for you. So they have the major scale, and then they have the major scale's relative minor key. And basically what you can do is click on any one of these. So I'm going to go to E flat major / C minor, and they have the triads for you. So they're going to have all the different triads for you for the key of E flat major, and then C minor as well is going to be the same thing. And then they're going to have all the extended chords for you. So if you go into extended chords, you can go to E flat major. It shows you literally every single type of chord that you can possibly make, every chord combination, anywhere from like a standard G major 7th to like an A flat major 6 add 9 flat 11th chord. So yeah, basically they got everything. And if you guys have seen my how to make chords video, where I talk about how to make each and every different type of chord, this could be a really good tool for you to learn all the different chords and how they're built and how they work and everything like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool, pretty awesome thing. And then they have all the borrowed chords and everything inside here. So basically borrowed chords is when you have, let's say like in a major scale, the 5 chord is usually a major chord, but instead you make it minor. And I like to do this with a lot of my chord progressions. It's a really nice sound. And then the main part that's, the main interest of everybody is the chord progressions. So inside the E flat major / C minor scale, they're going to have all these diatonic triads, which I'm pretty sure these are all just like super basic chord progressions, like C major, F major, D minor, or something like that. Just super simple, no 7ths, 9ths, 11ths, anything like that. But then they have the more advanced chord progressions, which are in here, and you can see all these, and that's what we're going to be experimenting with today. So now that you know how the whole Chord Pack works and everything, we're going to just load up a VST of some sort, and then we're going to pull in a MIDI file into the VST. So I just have a basic harp preset loaded up in Expand, and I'm just gonna go through and pick which chord progression that I want. So basically, to decide which MIDI I want to use, I'm just gonna drag it into here, and for whatever reason it doesn't drag it directly into the plugin, which if you guys know how to fix that, let me know. But I'm just going to drag it into here and then just simply copy it and paste it and see how it sounds. And that's the process that works for LMMS. There's probably an easier way to do it, and I'm updated to 1.3, so there might be a couple bugs and stuff here and there, but I'm just gonna go through and see which chord progression I like. Okay, so I found one that definitely caught my attention. It's this one, this minor progression 12. It basically sounds like this. I really like this one a lot. I like that last chord quite a bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make this full screen, and then I'm going to mess around with this chord progression just a little bit. That's the nice thing about having these as MIDI files, is that you can alter them in any way you want to, you know, fit your likeness. So there's a couple things that I'm hearing like in my head. One of them is the notes going down at the end, like this maybe. So now from here, because I have these chords already made and I don't really need to do any like thinking about the chords or, you know, the chord progression or anything, I can just make my melody super easy based off of this. Also, the nice thing is that because we have the key, I can do scale highlighting super easy. So the key was E minor, so we're just gonna do Aeolian. And now we have roughly all the notes that we can use, because there is some borrowed chords and stuff in here, but for the most part, this is gonna be a good outline for what we can use. So just like that, in about like a minute or two, I have this melody going on, and it sounds like this. And now I can just do Control A and then select Shift and click it over. And now we can just work on the next 4 bars of this melody, making it sound different so it doesn't get too repetitive, and that'll probably take a couple seconds. And just like that, we have the second part of our melody, which sounds like this. And I think that sounds super nice, and that took me way shorter of a time than it would have if I had to come up with the chords and everything too. So essentially, now that we have this, what we can do is we can play around with the pitch a little bit. So if I want this to be up higher, I can kind of change it by hitting Shift and then up on the arrow keys. So that sounds nice, but I think now that we have the melody, I want to change the preset around a little bit. So I'm going to go into Expand and just change the preset. So this is sounding super nice, and I like it quite a bit. I think I'm gonna add another pad on here, and then probably a lead, and then we'll just put some drums on it, and then we'll be pretty much done with this one. All right, so I just finished the whole melody. I added a pad and a lead, and it sounds like this. So yeah, I'm liking how that sounds. I'm gonna add some drums now, and then this will be pretty much done. Alright, so I basically just finished this beat up. I put some really simple drums on it. I did some basic EQing and stuff, and now the whole beat sounds like this. And this honestly did not take me very much time at all. Just goes to show you how easy making beats can be with the Unison MIDI Chord Pack. So yeah, now that we've made the LMMS beat, I'm gonna move on to FL Studio, and we're gonna make a beat inside there. All right, so now I'm in FL Studio, and I'm gonna try to make this one quite a bit faster than I did the last one. So basically, I'm just gonna go to F sharp minor, and then we're gonna go progressions, advanced progressions. Actually, we'll do major, so A major. And now I'm just gonna find which one I want. Basically, the first one I dragged in was the one that I like, so it sounds like this. And then the chords switch up a little bit in the second half, but I want to change this last chord. That's actually how I want it. Now I'm gonna do Alt S and Alt R. Alright, so now I have that. I'm gonna add maybe some bass or something in here. So now I'm gonna layer these chords with a pad or something. And these chords are literally just for the most part the same as I dragged them out of the Unison MIDI Chord Pack. So yeah, I'm gonna layer these chords, and then I'm gonna add a lead or something, and then we'll add drums, and then we'll be done with this beat too. Alright, so I just finished up this beat, and it sounds like this. once again, that was super quick. Honestly, did not take me that long at all because I barely need to do any work as far as the melody goes. The hardest part was really just picking the sounds and then, you know, doing the drums because I didn't really have to worry about the melody. So yeah, essentially that's going to do it for my little video on the Unison MIDI Chord Pack. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below or anything like that. Or let me know anything else that you guys want me to know. The link will be down in the description below for 60% off of the MIDI Chord Pack. If you want to go purchase it yourself, you may do that. Make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produce, my BeatStore, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you want to. Shout out to Unison once again, and I will see you guys in the next one.
No, we don't share mothers, but yeah, I still love them, like we share blood. No, I gotta keep going, I can't give up. Lately I've been feeling lost, I've been feeling